Hello everybody, this is Lukas Schwekendiek, and for this video we're just gonna freeload it, YOLO it, just see what comes up. I don't know what to talk about, I haven't planned this out, I just started recording, and so I'm just gonna babble on a little bit, I think. Nah, I'm not. Would be fun though. Are we going to do that? Should I just leave it running and post this? Give you guys a little bit behind the scenes? This probably won't perform well, but sure. You know what? Let's go for it. Maybe that's the thing. I talked to a client recently about the topic of messing up on purpose. So maybe this should be the video that I can show him then as well. And the point to allowing yourself to mess up, to being courageous enough to make mistakes, or just, to post something stupid and ridiculous, something not up to standard, is that there's no pressure on you anymore. We often try to pressure ourselves into perfection or into meeting the standard that we think we should meet. And this is true in business, this is true in physical fitness, this is true in relationships, this is true everywhere. Right? You're supposed to be a certain kind of person. You're supposed to be a certain kind of son, daughter, a certain kind of partner, a certain kind of employee, a certain kind of person, parent, and so on and so forth. You're supposed to have all these responsibilities for your fitness, you're supposed to have all these responsibilities for your health, and so on and so on and so on. The problem with that is not the fact that we try to meet these standards as much as it is that we try to avoid the negative that we see within that. So let's say, for instance, we believe that being overweight is a bad thing, which is totally fair, right? It's bad for your health. Bad for your health. We might get to that later. But we think it's not good for you. We think that's something not to look forward to, and so we put that on a scale. To have something bad, you need to have something good, and to need something good, you need to have something bad. So if being overweight is bad, then that scale will probably end up being with healthy or fit is good. The same way, when we think being hardworking is good, there's also a necessary opposite, which means being lazy is bad. Now, whenever we judge something as good or bad, we get two things with that, right? We get two sides of a coin for everything we judge. And the problem is that in our, when we live our life, we start feeling bad every time we go on that bad side of the scale, and good whenever we go on the good side of the scale. But because of that, we have such a narrow way to live life, so much stress, so many things that we must do, that it becomes really hard. Right? For example, this video. Right? How do you create a good video? How do you create a good business? Is maybe what I thought when I was creating this video, and so I should not have started out with no plan at all. I should not have done whatever. And I should have thought it out, I should have thought it through. Chances are that would probably have done better for my business, because I will probably lose quite a bit of viewers from that intro section. But every time I do that, it becomes much more stressful for me. I pressure myself into creating good videos, whatever that means to me. And then the problem becomes that I stress myself out. When I make mistakes, I'll feel terrible about it. I might even re-record. It'll take me a lot longer, and it'll ruin the authenticity that I'm trying to bring here. Now, in that sense, I'm trying to bring authenticity as a good thing and not authenticity as a bad thing, and I already judged again. But the main point is that the more we do this in life, the more we restrict ourselves, and usually we lose something as we restrict ourselves. If I were to try to make good videos, I would probably have a lot less fun. And I'd start to enjoy it less. That would start leading me to try harder, which would probably give it even more standards, which would make me enjoy it even less. And sooner or later, I'd most likely end up being burned out with the video creation. You can see by my upload schedule that I take it halfway seriously. But if I said I need to record or need to post something every single day, that would probably get me quite hard and would probably end up making my life feel a lot worse. Now, I'm not saying you should be totally free in what you do, but I am saying that you try less hard. and that you just post whatever you want to post, that you act with your partner however you want to act, that you go into your job feeling free to be yourself. And yeah, that'll make you mess up sometimes. But in the long run, that'll make you feel better. It'll make you feel more energized. It'll make you feel more true to yourself. You'll love yourself more, and that will carry itself positively throughout all your life. That'll affect a lot of different things. With my client, I told him he should just record a video that's completely nuts, where he just swears the entire time. And he makes very specific kinds of videos, but when that happened, he was trying to create videos where he would get followers and subscribers. But the more he was doing that, the less creative he was being. Because he tried to create content that would do well, that would perform well, that would have good SEOs, that would have good click rate, that would have good watch rate, and it just didn't work. And the more he tried and failed, the worse he felt about it all, as he thought he couldn't do it. So we tried to take the edge off of that swearing video and just make him have fun with it. Have him have a lot of joy with it. Because the point was not to really get far. In the end, yes. But you can do that in a lot of different ways. Because even that then is only a stepping stone to happiness as well. And I'll probably either have recorded or have posted or will post at some point videos on stepping stones to happiness, so watch out for those. I won't get into that right now, but the point is that you don't have to be perfect in everything. You can mess up, and if you allow yourself to mess up, you also allow yourself more to succeed. Imagine, for instance, another example, that you're at the gym, you're trying to get fit, and you go there and you go to a machine. Let's say let's say you do bench press. You get someone to help you out, and you realize that for your age, for where you want to be, you can bench press very little. And the people at the gym, they can help you with one hand to support you, and they're not worried about it. And you can barely maybe lift the bar. And then you say that's a bad thing. You beat yourself up over it. You try harder. And usually in trying harder, you strain your muscles more that they can handle. You become more in pain. You embarrass yourself even more, because then your attempts at a slightly higher weight are going to be much more shaky and much worse off. And because of all of these thoughts, you might get on yourself a lot. And this is what usually happens when people start out at the gym. They have these certain standards, these things about what would be good to do at the gym. And that's why most people quit, because most people can't handle that. Most people don't stick with it because they beat themselves up because of these good and bad things that they feel they should do. Now imagine that same person going into the gym and not having that. Not having any standards. Just going in there and saying, okay, let's see what I can do. Oh, I can only bench press the bar? Alright, I guess that's what we can do. Let's go from there. When there's no good or bad, it becomes very freeing. Or we can have another example of a relationship. You should take your partner out to a date. That's a good thing. If you don't, that's a bad thing. Now, as that partner that's supposed to take the person out on a date, you think about it. You think about, okay, where can we go? What can we do? How can I make this exciting for them? And then the dates should be good. So if they're not happy, you did a bad job. And you might feel worse about it, and you try even harder. When in fact, maybe all your partner wants to do is spend some quality time with you where you're not stressed out. And so you ended up in a self-fulfilling prophecy of making bad dates. How do you think a date would go if you were just free? And you just didn't care. You just tried to have fun for your sake. Maybe for their sake too, but you just took them along. There's a lot of power in not having good or bad things in your life. Now, that makes things different, and there's things that you want more and want less, but that doesn't make them good or bad. You wanting to have a partner that's nice is not a good thing. It's a different experience. It's not a bad thing either, but it's what you want. You wanting to eat cake is not a bad thing. It's a different experience and might lead you to become overweight, and then that will lead you to a different experience too. Maybe a shorter experience in life. But that doesn't mean it's good or bad. There's a lot of overweight people that are very, very happy. And it's not a bad thing. And there's a lot of very healthy people that are not happy at all. So that doesn't matter. All of these good or bad things are just in your head. They don't really matter. So maybe this helps you to ease up on that a little bit, to stop judging things as good or bad so often. If you still want to judge them as things that you want to do or not want to do. But know that either way, it's going to lead to a different experience, which doesn't make it better or worse. Allow yourself to mess up. Allow yourself to make mistakes. Allow yourself to just live. And as you do that, you'll allow yourself to do some better things, to be courageous. I said better, that's also a version of good. To do some more things that you want to do. See how easy it is to slip into that? So it'll allow you to do more things that you want to do. And then even for the things that you don't want to do, you'll probably approach them in a happier way, in a more carefree way. And I would be very surprised that if you tried this for just a week, that if your life didn't get any better. Try it out. See how many things you judge, and try not to judge them as much. And just do it because you want to, or don't do it because you don't want to. But don't do it because it's a good thing to do. Or not do it because it's a bad thing to do. Stop making that difference and start being a little happier. Yeah. And for a video that started off so ad hoc, so without a plan, it's doing quite well. And maybe that also shows you a little bit of what you can do when you just allow yourself to mess up. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video.